You know that feeling when you're trying to describe someone's face, but you just get stuck using the same old words? Well, today, we're going to fix that. We are diving into a much richer vocabulary for faces so you can become a better observer and, honestly, a more vivid storyteller.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When you describe someone, do you find yourself saying things like, oh, they have a big nose or small eyes? It gets kind of repetitive, right? This whole explainer is about getting you past those basics and giving you the words to really capture what makes a face unique.
And look, using more precise words isn't about sounding smart. It's about painting a picture for someone. It really is the difference between showing someone a blurry, out-of-focus photo and handing them a crystal-clear, high-definition portrait.
So let's kick things off with a feature that's literally front and center, the nose. There are so many ways to describe a nose that go way beyond just long or short.
First up is what's known as a Roman nose. The key thing to remember here is that long, straight bridge. You know, when you think of those ancient Roman statues, it's not about being from Rome, it's all about that strong, classic, almost triangular profile. Now, for a totally different look, you've got the pointy nose. With this one, it's all about the tip. The nose itself might be pretty thin, but it gets especially narrow right at the very end, which gives it that distinct point.
And then, of course, there's the crooked nose. It's pretty much the opposite of that straight Roman profile we just talked about. It's got a noticeable bend or maybe a bump. And, you know, it often tells a story of an old injury. You see this a lot with athletes, boxers, football players. It's like a little badge of honor from a few hard hits. Okay, moving on from the center of the face, let's look at an area that shows so much emotion, the eyes and the eyebrows. This part of the face has so many expressive little features, so getting the vocabulary right here is absolutely crucial.
So some people have really thin, delicate eyebrows, but when someone has a lot of thick hair right above their eyes, the word for that is bushy. Bushy eyebrows. It's a really simple but super effective way to describe a bold look. Next up, we have sunken eyes. The name itself gives you a perfect visual, doesn't it? It's kind of like a sunken ship that's deep under the water. These eyes are set deep into the face. And it's actually that depth that can create shadows, which sometimes gives the appearance of dark rings.
And oh, you can't forget dimples. These are those super charming little indentations that pop up on a person's cheeks, but, and this is key, only when they smile. It's almost like their smile has its own little exclamation points.
All right, let's zoom in even closer now and talk about some of the smaller but really significant details you might find on the skin. Now, people get these next two mixed up all the time, so let's clear that up right now.
So, moles versus freckles. What's the real difference? Well, it really comes down to texture and color. Moles can be raised up off the skin, and they're usually a darker brown. Sometimes a single mole is even called a beauty mark. Freckles, on the other hand, are always flat. They're those smaller, light brown spots that tend to pop out after you've spent some time in the sun.
Okay, now that we've gone over some of the finer details, let's zoom back out and look at the features that help define the overall shape and look of the face.
So instead of just saying big lips, a much better, more descriptive term is full lips. This doesn't just mean they're large, it implies they have a certain puffiness to them. The classic example that probably pops into most people's heads is the actress Angelina Jolie.
Here's a pretty simple one: bald. This just describes someone with no hair on their head. It's a useful term because it applies whether someone lost their hair naturally over time or if they just choose to shave their head for a clean look.
Okay, let's talk about the chin for a second, because it really is the anchor of the whole face. Is it prominent, meaning it juts out a bit? Is it more square and angular, or is it softer and round? And hey, just like with cheeks, you can have a dimpled chin too. Think of someone like the actor John Travolta.
And last but not least, the forehead. It might seem like a simple thing, but whether it's high or low, broad or narrow, the forehead is what frames everything else. It really sets the proportions for all the other features we've talked about, and it's what completes the final portrait. So, with this new vocabulary in your toolkit, here's a question for you. The next time you meet someone, what feature do you think you'll notice first? I bet you'll find that looking for these kinds of details makes you a better observer and gives you a whole new appreciation for just how diverse and interesting human faces can be. Thanks for tuning in.